Welcome to Marvel Champions Podcast, a podcast about Marvel Champions, the card game. I'm your host, Scott, and with me, as always, Ryan.
Hey, boy.
All right, Ryan, it's that time again.
What time is it?
It's combo time.
Combo. Insert soundbite.
Yes, right here. Okay, there it is. So, some combos. We played a few games lately. We got some combos. I've been looking at mine is actually going to be a combo that we can't play yet. We're going to have to wait till September to play my combo. But just kind of looking at some of those highly anticipated heroes, I've been thinking about what are some combos? Where can I play into some of the keywords and kind of niche things that characters do to make them all that much better?
So you're telling me that you've already thought of a combo for Hero Not Out. You realize that you're stealing someone's deck idea that they're going to post on Marvel CBD right now.
Well, I mean, if I do it now, it's my idea.
That's right.
Because technically they can't build the deck on Marvel CBD until the card shows up, I think.
Yes.
Like in their database, so.
And I should say that I said Marvel CBD. It is CDB. This isn't the Marvel brand CBD oil.
Oils. Yeah.
But hey, maybe Marvel's got that.
Yeah.
Yes. Card database.
Yes. All right. Anything else before we jump into my combo?
I don't think so. I think we're good. Go for it.
So I'm going to preface my combo with one card first, but I'm going to talk about who the hero is before I do that.
Okay. All right.
So we are talking about Mr. Warren Worthington III.
Sounds rich.
Yes, he's very rich and he loves trench coats. So Angel and Archangel. Mine uses Archangel's ability, Angel of Death, very little. It's just kind of like a little mini bonus. But mine really focuses on his changing forms in that window that stays open when you change forms and attack.
Okay.
So, I think ideally you would want to be Angel. And you're going to be playing an aggression deck.
Okay.
To help this combo just happen that much easier, I would recommend throwing down a Martial Prowess, which is a 2-cost upgrade for aggression. It's a resource generator. You exhaust Martial Prowess. You generate a physical fist resource for an attack event. Then you would change form into Archangel. And for 1 cost, you could play Surprise Attack with your Martial Prowess. And Surprise Attack says to Hero Response attack, after you change form, deal 3 damage to an enemy, 4 damage instead if you paid for this card using a physical resource. The other thing with this combo is playing as many copies of this card as possible in your deck to maximize, can you do more than one in a single window of opportunity? And then pairing that with a card called Pitchback. And I think Pitchback was in my first combo. But this is a 1-cost aerial attack that says play only if your identity has the aerial trait. Hero Response. After your hero attacks, deal 4 damage to an enemy. And it also is 1 cost. So if you can have both of these in your hand and multiple copies, ideally, or if you had like 2 pitchbacks and a surprise attack, you would flip and then deal 4 damage, ideally, with surprise attack. And then because you attacked, you could play pitchback for 1, deal another 4, And then if you had another pitch back because you just attacked with pitch back, do it again for another 4. And then just to put a cherry on top, Archangel's ability of Angel of Death says, after you play an aerial event, which pitchback is, deal damage to an enemy equal to that event's printed cost. And in this case, it's just 1. But you can do it to any enemy, not just the one you attacked.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
I guess you can do that reverse as well, like going from either Warren to Angel or Archangel to Angel and draw that card, right?
you could do that. You could do it the opposite. And instead of dealing the 1 damage to something with pitchback, you could draw a card, which would be a nice little bonus combo.
Bonus.
Bonus combo. Yeah.
Now here's a question for you, for our listeners, because we're talking about response, like the windows of timing and things, and that can be confusing for a lot of people. So as soon as you, I'm going to say you change from Archangel to Angel, as soon as you change form, that window is created, right? Where you can play a card that says when you change form, right?
Correct. It's a response.
It's
In
a
this case, a hero
response.
response. What's open that kind of creates that window of time.
Yeah. So based off that, it sounds like because you're opening up that response window, you can do basically all those responses as long as they're all response and not a force response. The force response meaning you have to do it first before all the other just normal responses,
Right.
correct?
Correct. And because the responses, you like do them and then you like check again and then you can do it and it kind of resets that window to check again
Yes.
and then
Okay.
do it. And because you just keep kind of checking, can I do this before that window says closes because you say I can't do any type of more responses to that previous window that was activated.
Gotcha. So just to make sure I got cost right. Pitchback you said was 1 cost. And surprise attack, is that 1 cost too?
It is 1 cost, so they're both
Okay.
1 cost. Surprise attack does have a benefit if it's a physical resource that deals 1 additional damage.
Okay. So martial prowess to pay for surprise attack. So now you're down 1 card from your hand of, we'll just say 5.
Yeah.
So you have 4 left. And then you pay 1 resource for pitchback. So there's potentially 2 more cards gone. And so you have 2 cards left. And if another one's like pitchback, then that's it. That's a good setup. I think if you were flipping to Angel, because his Angel of Life, that draw card, is a response, you should be able to draw another card, which you could potentially draw into one of those cards that you talked about, and it fuels that resource engine too.
So with flipping to the Angel one, that one, I think your ability to play additional attacks are going to close when you activate that response after you play an aerial event. Sequencing, I don't know, maybe you could say that because the pitchback is after you attack. I don't know if it's the same if the window's still open and you just decide which one activates first, but they both activate, whether you do an Angel of Life or another pitchback.
Well, if you think you can do 2 pitchbacks on that same window, does that mean that the aerial, that first pitchback, that it's been resolved?
I don't know. I'd have to think about it.
Because I guess that's the big thing is if we consider it like resolved, then it says after you play an aerial event. And so you would have played it and it would have been done with.
Yes. Like for his Angel of Life response, I would say yes.
Yes. Okay.
And that is my combo.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of damage output with that particular combo for sure.
And
for very low cost.
Being able to stack them in the same window, ideally there's a lot of luck and chance to that, but if you stack 6 total, 3 and 3 in your deck, pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. But being able to bounce those off of his two abilities kind of makes it a little nicer for him.
Yeah,
And
it's like whipped
and
cream
because
and
there's
cherry. Yeah,
yeah, and because there's no like major setup for it, it's just having the cards. It's the likelihood of pulling it off is greater. Like you don't have to go through your whole deck looking for this particular upgrade to then be able to do those cards. It's as soon as you get them, you have the chance of pulling it out.
right. And it's gonna work either way, whether it's angel to archangel or archangel to angel.
Yeah.
You're gonna be able to do either one or both.
Yep. Yep.
Well,
So they're
technically, you have to attack for a pitchback, but
yeah, as long as you attack. So cool. Yeah.
all right.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah. So nobody steal that idea, and wait for me to get it built out and build that deck, and I'll share it.
That's right. That's right. You're claiming dibs. Copyright.
Yeah. Stamp that right now.
Done. Well, I mean, we're gonna have proof as long as we get this episode out before it comes out.
I hope so.
All right. Well, for my combo, I'm going old school. I'm going with Iron Man. So one thing that this might be controversy. Who knows? Maybe this combo can't be done, and I'm just blowing smoke. But one of his cards is Pepper Potts, which I think is one of the best energy generating cards out there. Now, some of you might be saying, Ryan, what makes it so good? Well, let me tell you. So it is a 3-cost support, which it is a little higher in the cost, but you exhaust her and you generate the resource on the top of your discard. So majority of the time you're looking at it probably only generates one resource. But on certain times, say you have an energy genius strength on your discard, it can generate 2. So that's what makes it so great. But I read the card. I tried to read it as carefully as possible and trying to manipulate it. And I think I found a way to manipulate it.
Okay, let's hear it.
So this, you'd have to do a leadership build, and you use the card Band Together, which I'm a big fan of that card. And it's a resource card that says on the card, this card generates wild resource for each ally you control to a maximum of 3. And wording is very important. So as long as you have your allies out, that card's worth something. But if you don't, then it's garbage, which has happened before, and that does stink. So it's a risk, but if you can get the right allies out, it can be really strong.
Because it has no printed resource on it, correct?
Correct. Now, normally we've seen cards where it's like generate the printed resource of a card. But for Pepper Potts, it reads exhaust Pepper Potts, and then the little arrow, generate the resource of the top card of your discard pile. It does not specifically say the printed resource.
And then the Band Together says it generates 3 for, okay.
Yes.
Or 1 for each, or however it's worded.
Exactly. It doesn't have a printed resource, but it does say it generates. So even if it's discarded, I feel like it's still active to me. That's the way I see it. So in theory, if you have 3 allies out, you band together to pay for a 3-cost something, which is awesome. But then use it again with Pepper Potts, and that's another 3 costs that you can just throw out. And that, to me, is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, that's almost like a little bit better of a meditation.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I played a game with him where the deck was focused on Nick Fury, and since he cost so much, by doing this little combo, it I was able to generate the needed resources very easily and just pump him out and draw cards, and it worked pretty great.
Nice.
Now again, here's your warning again. Maybe I'm reading this wrong, and maybe there's a ruling on it that I haven't seen, but to me, I feel like this works.
So it's Ryan approved.
I approve it. Yes, absolutely.
All right, let me see if I got any quick reference here of.
Oh, you're gonna do a check. Oh boy, here
I'm
we
not,
go.
I'm gonna fact check you in real time here.
This could be embarrassing, but yeah, I think it works. I mean, just it. The phrasing doesn't say printed resource on Pepper, and
So there's
band
a
together
previous
generates.
ruling, and this just gives us a concept of it. So it's not specific to this one, but the question was: will pepper pots generate two resources if the power of whatever aspect resource is on top of the discard pile? It says no. Though the resources that pepper pots generates are equal to the quantity and type of the resources on the top of the discard pile, pepper pots is the card that is generating these resources. This means that the power of whatever card never generates resources itself, having no opportunity to generate additional resources for the card of its specified aspect. So, this would almost say that it doesn't work because
Interesting.
it's saying that the card is generating the resources when it's played, but when it's in the discard, Pepper is the one that's actually generating the resource, not the cards. Because if you look at the power of, those have text on them that say, if paying for whatever color, make it 2 or counts as 2.
It says double the number of resources this card generates while
Okay.
paying for a leadership blue card.
So what read your band together one again.
This card generates wiles for each ally you control.
So based off of this ruling, that card doesn't generate when Pepper generates it. Combo denied.
Denied. Oh, embarrassing.
No, and I'm
Ultra
not gonna
failure.
edit all this out, so we're gonna keep it all in.
I know. That's the problem. Well, it was a good thought. I feel like.
So that means our win was completely nullified. So thanks a lot for that, Ryan.
Well, granted, though I did use it a few times, I didn't use it that much that it made a big difference.
It's true.
Because I was pumping out resources for other reasons too.
Now, granted, this one was probably like really old. So, but I think it still stands. This ruling.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest. I do get it that the card in the discard is not generating. It's Pepper Potts that's generating, but I feel like it's generating based off the card.
If the text didn't say this card generates, I would feel a little more trying to push for your case. But
so if it said this card's worth 1 wild for each ally you control, do you think that would be different?
I think where it specifically said it generates. Read Pepper's card one more time.
Generate the resource of the top card of your discard.
Yeah, I think that one too. It's saying that Pepper's generating the resource, and I think in this case, even though it's not stated, it's implied that it's whatever the printed resource is.
Cost is.
Yeah, it's not stated, but I think it's implied.
This is a real downer to me right now.
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing.
All right.
Yikes.
Well, in this case,
Give me
I'm
a
gonna
mini
do
combo here, yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna 180 here and flip it around. Still combo for Iron Man. Um, Let me do a quick think.
I mean, we could just combine this with a Rules Corner episode. I
There
mean,
you go. Impromptu rules
Rules
corner.
Corner. Yeah.
um, I did play a deck with him. I have a deck that's built around Nick Fury with Iron Man. Because of Pepper Potts and being able to generate at least the double resource from Energy, Genius, and Strength, um, where you can pop out Nick Fury multiple times by using Make the Call, um, by using Regroup, the support where it allows him to take damage and goes back into your hand. So that's a little mini combo right there. I've had great success with being able to regenerate Nick Fury over and over again with that.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that you did when that game we played is you played a rapid response.
I did,
You
yeah.
had a couple nice little rapid responses, and then I think you played a regroup, which was nice.
Yeah, yeah. The goal being holding on to Nick Fury and trying to play him as much as you can to get those extra resources.
Yeah, and Tony wants to draw cards, so
Yeah, yeah. So he can. I think in one game we played, I drew goodness, like 15 plus cards overall because I granted I also had strength in numbers and I had 4 allies out, so I drew 4 with that.
yeah, that was a fun turn. I think you drew like upwards of teens cards, and I think I drew like 10.
Yeah, because I mean it's not as hard with Iron Man when you're starting off with 7. So
Yeah, yeah, not drew that many, but ended with a hand size of like 10, and you had some hand size in teens.
yeah, yeah. So and Pepper Potts helps with that because I could play the energy. I think one of the combos I did was like put Beast out
Mm.
and be able to grab one of my 2s, use it to pay for something, then use Pepper Potts to use that to pay for something else. So I was just recycling those higher energy costs, and getting Nick Fury pumped out as many times as I could. Hit
Yeah.
him or Maria Hill to get that draw card.
Yeah, and I think Pepper's one of those cards that makes you think the sequence of your discarding for paying for resources. You're like, okay,
Yeah,
I'm gonna play this one first, and then I'll finish paying with this card. So
yeah,
it's sitting right there on top.
yeah. So, and I had to be careful of what I was paying with, because I'm not familiar with the rule, but I'm assuming that if I pay for an event, I have to discard those first, and then the event gets discarded.
Yeah, I would imagine you pay the cost. The whatever you generated resource wise gets discarded. Then the event plays and finishes, and then gets put in the discard.
Yeah, and then that's the way I was playing it, so I had to
So
be
like
careful.
ideally, you would want to have like a pay for something that costs 2. That's like an upgrade or support. So it's sitting right there on top, and then use it for something else, and then in the turn draw up, have it sitting there, and be able to use it first thing your next turn.
Yep.
That's like 3 uses, or like paying for it first use, and then Pepper Potts twice. It's nice.
Yeah. So, mini combo
After embarrassment. All right.
I've lost all my street cred.
Yeah, they're like, ooh, that Ryan man. He plays those unsanctioned games where he breaks the rules.
I am at Marvel Champions Underground.
I'll have to edit in like a like the sound of like the police breaking down your door.
I'm getting swatted.
Yeah, the FFG police came and swatted you for playing it wrong. I can't believe you, Ryan.
Hey,
I'm not gonna bail you out either.
I will be the first to admit that I have played the game wrong at times. And if anyone tells you that they've never played it wrong. They're full of malarkey.
Full of malarkey.
You can take that to the bank, the
That's
FFG
right.
bank.
That's right. I need to sign off. If you don't want to be swatted by the FFG police, listen to our podcast.
And then we're actually going to
Except
get
for Ryan.
Yeah, but then we're actually going to get contacted by FFG, and they're going to be like, "You need to stop.
You need
Cease
to
and desist. You're swatting."
All right, those are pretty good combos, Ryan.
Yeah, thank you. Recovery.
If a listener wants to share with us one of their combos, how would they do that?
I believe they can email us at our Marvel Champions Pod Gmail.
Yes, Marvel Champions Pod at gmail.com.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So if you want to share with us one of your combos, and maybe we'll even play a game with it, talk about it in a upcoming combo episode, let us know. If not, we'll break it down and embarrass Ryan again, because I'll make you read it if it's wrong.
That's right. That moral of the story: read your cards and then read all the rulings that have come afterwards.
That's right. Scour the internet.
Scour the internet.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And remember, if you want to go from a chump to a champ, listen to the Marvel Champions podcast.